Hello all, welcome back to once again to another interesting episode under the Ajadi Kamrat Mahasa story series by Mommy From Musings. Today I am going to take you to another interesting and beautiful place from the Seven Sisters of Northeastern India. This time we're going to go to the land of Blue Mountains, that is none other Mizoram. Mizoram is also is another beautiful state in the northeastern part of India towards the end of northeastern and in fact, it has its boundaries along with the current Bangladesh, Myanmar, and other northeastern states. And we also know that in the recent social media, we've seen so many news about Mizoram being the most disciplined and most educated state. So I thought, why can't we dig into the history of Mizoram and understand what is the history of Mizoram? How Mizoram, I mean, who are the legends from Mizoram from whom we can learn today's life lessons in the modern world? So when I started doing my research, I couldn't find much of the information about Mizoram legends or kings because it's being inhabited mostly by tribals. Mizoram is mostly inhabited by the tribals, five major tribes and almost another 11 or 12 subclans. And Mizoram initially was called as Lushai Hills because Lushai is the major tribe that lives in Mizoram. Most of these tribes set up their own small village, which can consist of 50 to 300 families, which is being led by the tribe chieftain called Lal. And the interesting aspect of all these tribes is the culture in which they educate their children. When I'm and at the same time, I was saying I mean their culture is different. When we couldn't find any history, so how are they educating? What are the means they're using? They follow the typical Gurukul methodology in the ancient India, which is similar, more or less similar to our Gurukul methodology. In every tribal village, they have a huge dormitory called Jwal Book set up nearer to the chieftain's or the lord's house. And in this house, all the boys who attain 10 years or 11 years of age would be sent to. And this is a place, you can call it as a hostel or a dormitory in the modern day language, is a place where all the unmarried boys live till the time they get married. And this is the place where all the elders in the village come and teach them the military skills like warfare, archery, wrestling, and then they also teach about the traditions, their handicrafts, their art, their culture, and they also teach about the discipline. Discipline is the most important thing which the people from Dwal book has to adhere to. And in case if any of the student is showing any waywardness in following the rules and regulations established by Dwal book, then there will be stringent actions that will be taken against those kids. In fact, this is the place where all the future Mizoram citizens used to get trained both on the mental, physical, well-being as well as the discipline. And this is the place where the Pasalata is the brave warrior who used to get trained in Mizoram. The people who exhibit the bravery and who actually work for the benefit of the society are called Pasalta. And the important uh, character of this Pasalta is that they don't fight for pleasure. They do fight only if people are in need, or if they have to hunt animals for their hunger, or if they have to support somebody needy or destitute people, or if suppose somebody else from outside Mizoram is coming and teasing the old people or ladies or the children in the village. So they will take their arms only to fight only if these kind of circumstances arise. And unfortunately, till the time Britishers stepped into Mizoram, everything was smooth and happy. People were living in peace there, and amidst all the tranquil surroundings, isn't it? British entered Lushai Hills only around 1870s after they had completely annexed Assam, and they had started their tea gardens. They were in need for people who can work in their tea gardens, and then they started entering into Mizoram for their hunting pleasures, for their vacations, and to get the workers for their tea gardens. In fact, British Superintendent N.E. Parry had written to his higher officials in England that the villages which still have wall book are proving detrimental for the progress of British Empire, or for establishing British Empire in the Lushai Hills. And the people in Svalbard also practiced Twalgama, which is called the code of conduct for Mizoram. The code of conduct for Mizoram says that we should be always ready to serve to the society. We should always be helpful to other people. We should think others before the self. And then the last point is we shouldn't raise our voice in arrogance to elders, to people below us, or to anybody. We should be always speaking in a very polite manner. Amazing principles, isn't it? In fact, if you dig into the ancient Indian history also, most of the Gurukuls, you should teach the same moral principles. These are the moral lessons which made India proud even today. Unfortunately, these moral lessons are being sent to dustbin these days with the advent of the English education. And that is what exactly happened in Mizoram too. Because once the Britishers started stepping into Mizoram, they started calling Mizoram people as uncivilized, uncultured, not trained, ignorant, hilly people are the Highlanders, and they felt that with if they convert these people into Christianity, then only these people can become more civilized. So they started using the carrot and stick approach, saying like, you get to convert it into Christianity, I'll give you more money. You get converted into Christianity, I'll give you job. You get converted into Christianity, you will get more free education. So certain set of people, obviously, everywhere it will be there, right? So certain set of people started going to, started getting it converted into Christianity and started attending the English education, and they got jobs in the Assam tea estates or in Bengal. And when they started coming down to Mizoram hills back for vacation, they were showing all the gold coins which they were getting as a part of the salary. So that way they started luring most of the Mizoram tribes. But there are a lot of Pasaltas who said like this is not the way we should be losing our culture and our identity. We have to we have to stick to our culture and identity, and we need to follow our code of conduct, our religious customs and everything, and we should retain our identity. And that is the reason why they started fighting against Britishers. The moment these tribal warriors, Pasalta, started fighting against Britishers, they started spreading the rumors saying these Mizo people are very dangerous. They are the headhunters. They use the heads hunted by them as a profits. Remember, my dear friends, the code of conduct which Wahlberg and says that we shouldn't hunt animals for pleasure. They only hunt animals for hunger, to satisfy their hunger, not for pleasure. And now these are the same people who are getting branded as headhunters. Headhunting philosophy is there, or ritual is there, and they used to get the heads of the enemies whom they have defeated in wars, and mostly their wars are with the Britishers. So okay to some extent, but they are not Mizorams are not that dangerous. If you see Mizoram people now, if by any chance during your visits to Mizoram or Aizawl, the state capital, you can understand how peaceful and calm, friendly these people are. Just because of the misnomers which Britishers have started spreading, most of the main people in the mainland of India started thinking that going to Mizoram is a really dangerous job, and Mizo people are dangerous, and so already so many misnomers started spreading across. But all these things have happened only because of the Britishers. That is what the point which I want to make it clear. So Pasaltha Khuangchera is the one of the most forgotten warrior who had started attacking Britishers, and in fact he has become a thorn in their side. And because of him, Britishers were not able to really enter into the highland region of Mizoram, and they were having tough time. So finally, they had to oust the chieftain of the village in which Pasalta Khuangchera was living, and they had to bribe, they had to do a lot of things, and after a long lost battles with Britishers, Pasalta Khuangchera had died after fighting till his last breath. Even before he went for the last fight, he all mentioned to his villagers that don't forget our Zvalbuk traditions. Don't forget our code of conduct for Mizo people. Be disciplined. Always put others before yourself. Always, respect elders, children, people above you and below you. So, and that is the reason I think if you see, Mizoram is the most disciplined and highly educated state when compared to all other states in India. And you can see the shops without shopkeepers and with just a coin box, wherein people take the things whatever they want and put the appropriated money that is whatever goods which they are taking actually costs without somebody keeping in watchful eye. So that shows how disciplined their lifestyle is, and maybe because of this discipline and these morals only, their lifestyle is very peaceful and they are free of mental tensions. So I hope, I mean, this is all the story for today as of now, but I just hope that because of the new changes that are coming in our educational policy, at least we get to hear more about this kind of pasaltas, their moral education system, which so that in the future Indian generations can really change from where we are currently, isn't it, my dear friends? So this is my just a small tribute to Mizoram people and their goodness and their free spirit. If you like it, please let me know in your comments. Let us meet tomorrow with another interesting episode. Till then, bye bye.